A bear cub was rescued from a ditch in New Jersey. State troopers say the cub was found yesterday in a roadside ditch on Interstate 78 in Union Township. They were able to take it back to the barracks and later released it to the Department of Environmental Protection for proper care. They say the cub is now safe and receiving the attention that he needs.
More good news from around the world that nobody talks about. Anna Victoria becomes the world's first lawyer with Down syndrome. Every year, 28 million tons of dust blow from the Sahara Desert to the Amazon rainforest. The dust acts as a crucial fertilizer for the rainforest. More than 6 million home solar systems have been installed in Bangladesh. Australia has moved to block social media from kids under 16. After nearly 100 years of struggle, Egypt has defeated malaria. A brave boy who beat cancer feels the wind in his hair again. A 94-year-old black mother of 18 retires after 25 years as a South Carolina's oldest crossing guard. A grandmother jumps from the 3rd floor to save her kids and daughter from a North Carolina apartment fire. Barbados just guaranteed every child born since 2021 a $2,484 wealth fund, no strings attached. A cafe in Indonesia gives people with Down syndrome a chance to actually work. This black man, paralyzed after a car crash, learns to walk again and is now a teacher. Once again, I'm just a 40-year-old dude sharing good news. Share this and follow me for more.
Good news for Sydney-siders, because apparently the world's best restaurant destination might be closer than we think. Believe it or not, Parramatta has just been named one of the best places to eat in the world for 2026, rubbing shoulders with global restaurant heavyweights from Hong Kong, Spain and Greece. And Parramatta's booming multicultural food scene has even put Paris to shame, which didn't make the list. Wow.
Everything sucks. So here's 10 reasons to not be sad today. We've got some woke judges. They just blocked Trump's executive order to end federal funding for NPR and PBS and to stop the construction of the new White House ballroom. W. A bunch of celebrities, including Pedro Pascal, Madonna, Jane Fonda, Mark Ruffalo, and more, have all signed an open letter to shut down the ICE facility for children. We've got new bruises, guys, and his approval rating has hit a new low in 3 recently published polls. Researchers found a way to cut the risk of getting Alzheimer's in half for those that are genetically destined to get it. The Trump administration has restored funding to Planned Parenthood, stating that they cannot fulfill their original goals. W. A record number of House Republicans, the most since the Great Depression, are not seeking re-election, so Democrats have a chance to take this. This year's John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award is actually a tie between the people of my home state, my home city, the Twin Cities, and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, both for their efforts in standing up against Trump. Spain defies Trump's demands and closes their airspace to all military flights from America and Israel. As Trump's trans military ban continues on, the community actually held their own events to honor and celebrate themselves. And lastly, my brand new album comes out next month. If you want to support an LGBT independent artist, go on Spotify, hit that pre-save link for me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. My name is Jack the Underdog, and this is Hopecore Hump Day, Reasons to Not Be Sad Today. If you want more Hopecore in your feed, follow me. I make a post like this every single Wednesday. Don't ever forget you matter. I'll see you next time.
Right, here's some good news from me and a couple of friends.
A group of Florida's Republican sheriffs wrote to Trump asking him to end mass deportations of undocumented immigrants who have not committed crimes.
Stickers showing Trump's face and the phrase, "I ran your gas price up," are appearing at gas stations nationwide.
The 2026 John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award will be presented to the people of the Twin Cities of Minnesota for their nonviolent resistance to ICE and their commitment to protecting their neighbors.
A federal judge blocked the Trump admin's efforts to overhaul national vaccine policies. This includes the controversial decision to cut the number of federally recommended vaccinations for children.
Democratic attorneys general are collaborating on a scenario planning for when Trump tries to interfere with the midterms.
A brand new program in some American schools asks our school children to create posters and pictures and art pieces to fight division, and this project has already raised over $750,000 for migrants who are here in the United States.
Meryl Streep made a landmark 7-figure donation to the National Women's History Museum, who said that her gift would help ensure that women's contributions were recognized, taught, and remembered.
Rhode Island's first utility-scale offshore wind farm, Revolution Wind, has officially come online and started delivering power to the electric grid despite repeated efforts by the Trump administration to shut it down.
A federal judge ruled that the Trump administration violated the Constitution when it sought to restrict press access to the Pentagon and limit what reporters could cover.
NYC's first office of LGBTQIA affairs will be led by a trans woman. According to Mayor Mamdani's office, Taylor Brown will be the first trans person to heed a city agency.
Brand new posters are going up all around DC, all around, and they are calling Trump's war with Iran Operation Epstein Fury. Operation Epstein Fury. What a great name for this distraction.
Montana began collecting signatures for a referendum this November that would ban corporations from political spending on candidates or ballot issues. If passed, it could prove a death knell to Citizens United.
Here's some good news from March that you might have missed. Europe's first sanctuary for captive elephants is set to open in Portugal, offering a long overdue lifeline to hundreds of elephants. The ocean cleanup are heading to India to help stop the 5 million kilograms of plastic that flow from Mumbai into the Arabian Sea every year. Scotland became the first country in the UK to legalise water cremations, offering families a more sustainable alternative to traditional burial and cremation. The UK's first geothermal power plant officially switched on, supplying up to 10,000 homes with constant clean energy using the Earth's heat. A new prostate cancer treatment was announced that researchers are calling stunning, after early trials showed that it could shrink and completely eliminate tumours, with larger trials now planned. Brazil's Amazon deforestation is on track to hit a record low this year, with forest clearing at its lowest level since 2014. And in the Galapagos, 158 juvenile giant tortoises have returned to Floriana Island for the first time in 180 years. Tap like and share to show that good things are still happening.
They may control the headlines, but we control the facts. This is the news they tried to bury under the noise this week. Welcome to the W Report. First up, we have our accountability win of the week. New Mexico put Meta on trial for harming kids, and this week the jury came back. They found that Meta knowingly violated state consumer protection law, aka allowing predators to access children, designing its platforms to addict minors, and lying to the public about what it knew. The penalty, $375 million. Should have been more, but okay. This is the first time a jury has ever held Meta accountable at trial for this. More than 40 state attorney generals have similar cases pending. The dam is just cracking. Let's watch it go. Up next, we have our people win of the week. Democrats flipped a Florida state House seat on Tuesday in the district that includes Mar-a-Lago. The Republican president endorsed the other guy and personally urged his Palm Beach friends to turn out. Yes, they didn't. Republicans won that district by 19 points in 2024. Democrats won it on Tuesday by 2.4 points, a 21-point swing. This is the 29th seat that Democrats have flipped from Republican control since Trump took office. Trump voted by mail in the race, and now that little twerp is calling mail-in voting cheating. Child left behind. George Bush would be so sad. Our third win of the week is our ballot win. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments this week in a case that could strip mail ballot grace periods from up to 29 states ahead of November's midterms. Here's what happened in the courtroom. Justice Barrett, a Trump appointee, challenged the petitioner directly and hard. Election law experts came out of the hearing saying that the administration faces long odds. We will be watching this one closely, but for now, a win's a win, baby. Our fourth win of the week is our vaccine win. A federal judge this week blocked RFK Jr.'s changes to the childhood vaccine schedule. The judge found Kennedy violated federal law when he fired all 17 members of the CDC's advisory committee on immunization practices and replaced them with hand-picked appointees. The man who was given a steak on his birthday, like a dog about to be put down, personally appointed people to the CDC. Yuck. The court ruled that the government had disregarded proper procedures and undermined the integrity of its actions. Vaccines are here to stay. Kennedy loses. Hopefully he's gone next. 4 wins, 1 week. Share this with someone who needs a little bit of positivity, and I hope to see you next Friday.
I hope you guys enjoyed some of that good news that I have compiled in this video. And as always, I got to give a shout out to Amber. I'm not sure if she'll see this one, but thank you so much. All the credit goes to her because she gave me the idea to do a few good news videos throughout the month. I did drop the ball for March. I totally forgot to do it. March just went by so fast. Is it just me? It might just be me, but I'm going to make up for it by doing multiple for April. So this one was to make up for March. A few of these news stories happened in March. So making up for lost time. But y'all, the most important thing, I'm so happy for all of the environmental advancements that we've been having. You know, all of the animals are prospering and, you know, they're getting rescued, and we're actually like putting energy to like make sure they don't become extinct or endangered, and making sure there's no animal cruelty. I love that. But did you guys clock the tea about the Democratic AGs trying to pre-plan for what Trump is going to try to do when it comes to the elections later on this year with the midterms? This is super important. Every story in here is important, but for what we're going through right now, we have to heed that story. Make sure you tell all of your relatives and whoever who may want to listen that things are getting put into place to avoid any election interference, because we know he's going to do something, and you know his minions are going to believe him, and we might have January 6th part 2. It might be November 8th. At this rate, let's keep that in mind. We are already getting things put into place to avoid anything being able to be labeled as election fraud. That is super important. I was happy to see that, because I feel like we have to get ahead of the game. We cannot be too late in getting that, put into place, so that when it happens, because we know it will, they are probably planning their scenarios and their stories to get people to fall for it as we speak. That was a huge story to me. I didn't even know that. Let me know if you guys heard about that. But I have some of the stories, like additional information, coming up on the screen as I speak. But I thought that was pretty good news, because I want to hear that, we're getting ahead of this, and I don't want to have to deal with a whole nother stolen election, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that when it comes to the midterms, which to me, will it be that easy to just say that it's fraud? Because look, and that leads me into the next story. Look at how Democrats are sweeping these special elections in all of these states. Imagine a Democratic candidate in the Mar-a-Lago County. Mar-a-Lago, that's Trump Central in Florida, was able to flip the Republican seat. Now, we can't get too complacent or comfortable, because I think I might have it on the screen, but the margin was super close. She won by 51%. She got what she needed to get to win it, and it was pretty close. It was 51 to 49%. So although she won it fair and square and she got the amount that she needed, we can't just fall by the wayside and just think that every county is going to follow suit. We have to get out there and vote when we can. It's all going to matter whenever it gets to the midterms, especially. So if you have a special election in your state, definitely take part, because as we could see, seats are flipping. Even the Republicans are tired of Trump's BS, and it's showing. If Mar-a-Lago could flip, well, I should say the county in which Mar-a-Lago Trump headquarters is in could flip a seat, it's possible anywhere, and I truly believe that. So I thought that was good news too, and that's been happening everywhere. There was an election maybe a couple of months ago, maybe back in February, where there was a young Democratic guy who was able to win it over like a heavy Republican county, Tarrant County. That's over in the Fort Worth area. They're not as liberal as Dallas County. They tend to go Republican, and Taylor Ramett was able to flip that seat. So it's happening in a lot of places where you would think, oh, it's definitely going to go Republican. It's Democrats are flipping those seats. So whenever you have your opportunity to vote, even if it's for like your state representatives, which the one in Texas here was for, it was for this Texas House of Representatives. No matter what it's for, whether it's the U.S. Congress or if it's your state House of Representatives, definitely go out there to vote. I want to take the time out to stress that fact. Oh, you guys, the bear cub that got saved, it's so cute. We never really pay attention to how cute bear cubs are. They're so cute, and I know animals are animals. I know there's a big population of the animal lovers who want animals to be treated as animals, not pets. But it's just so cute. You just want to have it as a pet and not have it grow up. But they get to be pretty big once they are fully adult bears. So yeah, it's really good to see that the little cub was saved. So good to see that heartwarming story. What else? Also good to see that the young lady was able to graduate from law school and having Down syndrome. That's really a motivational story in which anything is possible. Just imagine the obstacles she probably had, and she was able to overcome them to be an attorney. Do you know how much you have to dedicate your life to become a lawyer? it's a lot, and she made it through, so I'm so happy and so proud of her. And also that they're making waves in that one coffee shop that was mentioned, and allowing a lot of the people with Down syndrome to work there as well. And also props to Parramatta, Australia. I'm not sure if that would be the correct way to say it. I know I have Aussies who watch my videos. Hey, you guys over there in Australia, they'll let me know if I'm wrong, but I think Sydney and the Parramatta, all of those cities are in, it's either Victoria or New South Wales. I want to say it's in New South Wales. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but if anyone in that area has ever been to Parramatta and, you know, checked out the food scene, what's the best restaurant in that city? I'd be definitely curious to know, because for it to be Paris in world-class dining, huge props to that town. It must mean the food is really, really good. I was in Paris for like a few hours essentially when I went to Europe last year, and just the food I had at one restaurant was really, really good. So Paris is a tough city to beat. It's really good to see that Australia is getting up there on the culinary map. So props to you guys in Parramatta, Australia. And yeah, I saved the craziest story for last. Now, I mean, it is good news, because the guy with the 12 wives and the 102 children and 500 and something grandchildren, I mean, it's very good that he stopped. We will admit that, but how does it get to that point? I get it, in Africa, polygamy is like a normal thing. It looks like, per Google, this guy lives in Uganda. But at this rate, don't you want to stop at 50? I think 50 children would have been enough. And just from what this AI result is saying, it looks like the youngest wife is 35 years old, which is wow, because that is younger than me. So he's not stopping. Well, I guess he is stopping, but he didn't let the 100th child stop him. He got 2 more. But I don't know, y'all. It's a little sad at the same time, but it looks like the guy is 70 years old, and I just don't know how it gets to that point. So I guess if you had to just like do basic math, maybe each woman had about 10 children. It kind of contradicts itself in the result, because the top part, it says the youngest is 10 years old, but at the bottom where it mentions the age of the youngest wife, it says the youngest child is 6 years old. So I guess it's not really that much of a difference. So does that mean the 35-year-old wife was maybe 25? Like, that is insane. But it's just a different game over there when it comes to marriages and wives and children. How do you even go about supporting that many children, even before it got to the 50th child? How do you support 20 children, let alone 102 children? I don't know, you guys. It's good that he's stopping. It's looking like it's due to old age, and I guess they're finally using birth control. Yay, them. But even for those moms, it's like, how do you even go about taking care of that much children and possibly grandchildren? I would never be able to do it. So for the youngest wife, the 35 or however old the youngest one is, I don't know if the 35-year-old is the true age, but it's like some of your stepchildren are not double the age, but like 20, almost 20 years older than you. Like, how does that even work? But I don't know. It looks like they did like a news story on them. I might have to go watch that, because that is going to be entertaining. I might do that after I'm done with this video, but yeah, look into it, you guys. This seems super interesting, and I'm gonna go check that out for sure, because I want the tea. I like to get into the nitty gritty of things and see why people do the things that they do. I'm just a curious person. But thank you so much if you made it this far. I appreciate you watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I definitely want to keep putting out these good news videos, because we deserve to hear actual good news. Just because we're hearing about the war and all of the crazy stuff Trump is doing, and just all of the violence around the world that's happening. We need to hear like good things because it's necessary for our mental health at this rate. And I feel like everyone could use a little good news. Yeah, definitely make sure to like and subscribe if you can, and also hype if you can do so as well, because that helps out a lot. And that's all I have for you guys today. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Bye. See you later.